So one thing that I've really not been liking when I've seen the Omni Knights picked up is that we have not really seen like a big combo with the Omni Knight. It's been like a lot more mediocre pairings that don't really utilize the Heavenly Grace. Like for an example, I'm pretty sure it was Elephant. In fact, they ran the Rookie position one with an Omni Knight support, and that's not a carry that's going to utilize your Heavenly Grace purification. Like I really want them to go for a hero for Eurus that pairs well with the Omni Knight.
Well, they've already gotten rid of the Monkey King and the Slark, so that's good ways, and they have to get rid of the Bloodseeker when you've picked up this Pangolier. So I'm liking the way that
Dire
Magma have
team
drafted
pick.
so far.
So have I. And it's also pretty good pairing with the Pango lane too, with the Cuddle. Immense amount of damage output we've seen, the damage mitigation. You're going to have to go for a position 4 that will offer you some damage on Elephant. You could go back
10
for the
seconds
Lion.
remaining.
I mean, we're not seeing it often, but I like it a lot versus Pango
5
because you have
seconds
this
remaining.
instant stun to then like he's a hero that really relies on his mobility and his kind of toolkit to get that survivability off. So the Lion with that jump and bursting him down, and at least he's a position 4 that will
Radiant
give you
team
some
pick.
damage. And they go, this
Damn it!
is
I was just about to say the
okay.
Shadow Shaman because I was about to ask you, like, do you think that they need to put a lot more focus individually onto TZY's Pango? In which case, I feel like a Shadow Shaman's even better, right? Because you can get the Hex off and you can get out of there, or you can get the Hex off and then, provided the Storm Spirit's able to follow up, you can get the Shackles, and then suddenly the
5
Pango is nowhere
seconds
near as
remaining.
effective. But if it's about controlling the overall team fight, then a Lion is always great, right? Because you can hit multiple targets with an Earth Spike.
Radiant
I just
team
feel like the
pick.
Shadow Shaman provides a few more dimensions
Dire
for them this
team
time
pick.
around because it also gives them a bit of extra push.
All
And
right. Dude,
all
we're
right,
major ground zero. I just spilled tea all over my keyboard. Dude, this is no good.
what kind of tea?
Man, I don't know if it matters.
I
My
just
key,
I just looked on the stream and I just see it. You go like,
fuck.
10
Dude, my
seconds
key,
remaining.
spaghetti's dropping
I wanted to
everywhere out
buy a
of your
new keyboard,
pockets.
but the only issue is like observing
5
might be a bit more
seconds.
difficult
Radiant
now.
team banned.
Not like this. Go get a towel. I'll take over for a
Okay.
little bit.
This is no bueno. I'll be back,
Mhm.
guys. It's so funny.
So Lifesteal is definitely one of those things that can pair better together with a Omni Knight. It gives you the extra regen in lane. It buffs up the strength, which of course is going to make you very strong. You've already got the rage for a little bit of that magic immunity, and then the status resistance on top of that is going to be real nice. But I don't know. Like it feels a little like you can get griefed somewhat by the Pangolier with the disarm, of course. You're not really all that worried about the Keeper of the Light and the Invoker. It's all about just getting in range. But with the Lifestealer paired together with the Storm Spirit, there's definitely an FS bomb target, which is always going to be nice and effective to be able to have. You all cleaned up?
I don't know. There was a crap load of water that went in the keyboard. We
Turn it over quick.
yeah, it's over.
Put it in a bag of rice or something.
You keep doing you. I'm listening. I'm listening.
Okay. What else did they get? They got rid of the Doom.
Oh, so funny.
Also, I'm just reading chat in response to you spilling tea
Yeah,
like an absolute,
So the issue is, I mean,
like an idiot.
man, my throat. I was telling you at the end of that game, my throat's just dead, and I'm like, I always, the one things I'm worried about with casting is I hiccup in fights, and then I spill shit on my stuff on my keyboard to then
No, you said it.
to then like mean I can't observe, and like we've done that, and now it feels like the hiccup has to come as well this game.
Mm-hmm.
Alright.
And I'm also getting some nice comments about
Dude.
my warm hoodie that I'm wearing. It is fleece. This is very comfortable. If you don't know, this is one of those big sweaters, jumpers, whatever you call them, that goes down to like your shin. It's that long, and I'm feeling very warm and comfy right now. So let's get some. What's the emote? Some blankies, jammies,
Yeah, I think it's
jammies in the chat, because that's what I feel like right now. It's just.
Oh, this is quite the draft on MagMa. Wow.
It's pretty spicy. I mean, Lifestealer hates to deal into this. What are they going to be able to respond with that can deal with it?
Now select your
Landstalker's
heroes.
not terrible, and as well, it's another hero that takes good advantage of that Heavenly Grace. So you can pop it onto Yang before the team fight starts, have him dive in super deep, soak up a lot of the damage, and then have Somnus kind of come in as that secondary source. The Infest Bomb can still happen with Eurus on top of him. It's just a matter of who are they going to be able to go in onto. But like you mentioned, it is a pretty solid draft coming out from Team MagMa. The laning stage is good. The team fight is excellent. The scaling is good. You can't fault too much about it.
None of my keys are working.
None of them?
Dude, it was a big spill.
Hmm.
This
Are
is
you able to put it on
crazy.
directed camera? And
I
then we can
can-
just cast off of that.
No, we good. I can free cam.
Okay.
It
All right, you can
won't be-
mice. Yeah.
Yeah. I was honestly I was thinking about getting a new keyboard with I don't know what the like softest caps are. Like I don't know what color they are or whatever. I was gonna look it up, but I wanted a new keyboard, so this is one way to make me need to get one.
It's fate's way of saying, you know what, it's time.
Damn, I was looking forward to that team, man. Like at least
Just suck
chat.
it out of the keys.
Yeah, I've still got some left, but I don't feel like that shit now. That's just, man. All right, let's see what keys work. Oh, nice. So when I left click, I ping.
So it's like you're holding down shift.
Prepare for battle.
Or
Oh
alt or whatever.
man, what the heck, dude?
I feel like this is just a strategy to get out of more Tetris rematches with me,
Far
because
out.
I was bodying you in those when we were
Yeah,
on our
but
long
like
break.
we were getting used to each other's. You know, I was learning. Alright,
You promised me that you were very good back in high school, and you were obsessed with Tetris to the point that you were dreaming of it.
Dreaming is
Is
not.
there a way to get around this? Do you want me to like
Uh,
share my vision and then
POV
you
potentially.
get it off Discord or something?
Yeah, potentially that could be probably the better way to do it. Have you got the?
Let me know.
Have you got the smooth camera?
I can. Just give me a
Yeah.
second.
30 seconds
Chat
to
would
battle.
be absolutely taking the piss right now. This is hilarious.
At least it happens on the last game, you know?
Oh, yeah, but it's a cracker of a game. It's exactly what we want. You know, we want a game 3 between these boys, and we got it. We got a late night ahead of us, and we got this crap coming out. It's alright. It's alright.
Let me know if you do need it.
Probably. Wait, give
The
us a
battle
sec.
begins.
Yeah, I will. Yeah, 100%. My alt key's like messed up. Sorry, lads. You can definitely blame me. It's alright. I'll take it.
No, I'm not sure how smooth it's going to be.
Ah, fuck.
I'll put it on 30 FPS, but 1080.
I can probably just actually. Nice.
What's up?
Well, they paused.
All right, well that works.
They
They must know. You know, they've got some fans in the EU. Sorry, the EU. We're
I
not
can't
EU,
full
EU,
screen
lol. The English offices.
Okay, what I'm gonna do is take out my keyboard, so then it'll stop because I can't full screen yours. So I need to find where my keyboard is in there. So you keep going. Oh, nice. We still got 2 players. You entertain everyone.
Oh my god, what can I do? Hold on, I can do this.
So this is you don't seem to be doing a very good job right now. Wait, they're back.
Well, hold
already?
on. Give me a second. Give me a
Don't blame
second.
this on me.
I just got to change this up. Like I've got my my noise suppression that I need to turn off in order to enable people to hear lovely music. uh, hopefully people could hear that.
Oh boy. All right. Well, we've unplugged the keyboard. Doesn't seem to be helping out so much. I will reconnect. See if that can. Give us a sec, guys. I do apologize. We gotta blame Danog. Danog, it's all your fault.
I'm sorry, but I think I got the best reaction in chat of all the night by playing that recorded song. Mary Had a Little Lamb takes a lot of skill, all right?
Yeah.
Just wait until I get up my sheet music. Then the bangers really start. I'll do it. Like, while we wait, I'll do it. You just let me know. Say the word. I will bring up Titanic. My heart will go on.
Nah, man. This is so messed up. This
Can't you
is
full screen my through the Discord?
no, it still shows the stuff on the edge.
Dude.
Dude. Why is this
No,
gonna happen?
if you just hover the mouse over it and don't move your mouse on the Discord screen, it goes away eventually.
The panels on the right are still showing for me.
You can press the isn't there like a little like two guys, like a little arrow with two guys?
Oh wait, yeah,
silhouette?
hide members. Yeah, okay. Ah, boy.
Do I need to turn my sound on in that, or is it already on, or
Yeah, you probably need to turn it on.
is it not on?
Oh, I can't hear it.
I
now.
blame you.
Yeah, that's
Well, we
fair
can just use your
enough.
in-game sound, right?
Yeah.
Because it'll be the same, hopefully.
All right, you're on the. Dude, I can't go full screen.
Am I on the big screen?
Yeah,
Hi,
you're on the
Mom.
big screen. Hi guys. All right,
Oh,
let's
God.
go.
Oh god, what's happening? All right, we're in.
This is crazy. This is actually how
I'm gonna rely on you. Normally, I'm
This
off
is how-
looking at stuff off on the other side of the map, right? So you're gonna need
Dude.
to wreck me. This is a team effort.
All right, you still keep going, keep running the show. I'll make sure everything's looking clean for a little bit.
All right.
What can I do?
I
in
guess I'll
return?
do the solo cast, the play-by-play, and the analysis. What can you do? Mid lane's actually going quite well for Somnus here against... Actually, they've changed things up as well. Dust is looking to go back to playing in the safe lane. That's something that we didn't quite touch on when I feel like his performances in mid have been pretty damn impressive. So we'll see if he's able to bring that back with this one. FY, he's just gone the 1 point into the Ether Shock to start off, one of the biggest ways to deal damage at level 1 that there still is in the game. Of course, you've still got that insane right click, and he's just looking to put as much pressure in onto Kaz as possible, whose positioning has been pretty good, but it's definitely not where you want to be on an Abaddon on the back lines with the Dusa just kind of pressured forward. But he's been able to put a decent amount of harass in onto Yang, so can't complain all that much.
Yeah, how do I get rid of the taskbar at the bottom?
I don't know.
Oh no.
That's on you, my brother.
Oh man. All right. How are there any specific lanes that we should be paying attention to with these two teams at the moment? Like it looks like at the moment, you know, no kills across the map, nothing too fancy, but where are we more anticipating this first blood to potentially come?
First blood? Bottom side seems kind of rough, right? Like, sure, the kill potential is going to increase as soon as it hits nighttime in about 30 seconds, but it's against an Abaddon, so it's not like you're going to be able to chain lock down anyone unless it's the Abaddon himself, as Yang and FY. They're looking to make an aggressive move, but the
Dude,
Aphotic Shield
what
comes off just
The
in time.
heck?
Radiant
What's happening?
structures
Dude,
are
I've got crap
fortified.
popping up left, right, and center.
It's not me. Eurus on the top side, he's still getting a fairly decent amount of farm. TZY, it's going to be a hard ask to be able to replicate the kind of game that he had in that game number 2, but he's doing a good job of harassing away Eurus as much as
Middle
possible.
tower is under attack.
I don't feel like Super has necessarily gotten as aggressive as you might like to with an Omni Knight super early on, and this is something that we touched on as well yesterday, in that whenever you pick the Omni Knight, it kind of feels like you're resigning your position 5 to the fact that they're not going to be dealing any damage at all for a vast majority of the game, where at least the Abaddon, you know, occasionally you'll be able to get off the Mist Coil from range, the Aphotic Shield is going to pop for some AoE damage, and then you can assist with the tower taking as
Radiant's
well with the
middle
Curse of
tower is
Avernus.
under attack.
So the damage definitely needs to be made up in other areas, and right now, it just doesn't quite feel like they've got it in the super early game. What's happening? Talk to me, buddy.
No, we're just not working well for me tonight. Hey, can you turn up your game sound?
Radiant's bottom tower
My
is
game
under
sound?
attack.
Yeah.
Mm,
Shh. Yeah, that should be good. All right, beautiful. I got full screen now, but that's the best we can do. For anyone that wasn't here and didn't see, unfortunately, some freaking idiot spilt tea on their keyboard. So, that-
Ninjas came in and spilt tea on your keyboard.
yeah. So for anyone that's wasn't there to see it, do very much apologize. That was not meant to be what was supposed to happen to end the night for our beautiful game 3. But nonetheless, this is what we have to put up with, and we're doing rather well for it, I'd say now. We should be okay.
Somnus nearly ended up going down there for a solo kill
Radiant's courier has
to the
been
Invoker.
killed.
In the meantime,
Radiant's middle
Shadow Shaman
tower
just
is
sitting in the
under
mid lane,
attack.
soaking up as much experience as possible. But again, another quite passive game, which I don't want to say both teams would be somewhat happy with, because you've got this Lifesteal or Omni-Knight lane where I feel like they're in a position where they can get aggressive.
Yeah, looks like what's Pango got at the
Night
moment? Again, the Morbid Mask. Okay, he's gonna go Diffusal Blade this game instead. I've been a huge fan of this Echo Saber because it's kind of fulfilling the issues that you don't get the stall anymore. Somnus be able to pick up first blood down bot, and an early rotation from the Storm Spirit.
And importantly, that was also the Stone Gaze being popped. So Dust, he realizes that he doesn't have quite as much safety when he's stuck down next to that tower anymore. He's going to rotate straight back into the jungle. He sees Somnus coming his way, so he's going to need to be a little bit careful. They've got a bit of information now of where Dust is, even connecting the snake in onto Somnus.
Burka? I'm not going to catch him out here. So I got great wards around the positioning of the mid lane, just able to scout out the Invoker on where he wants to get active on the map here to start here for MagMa's position 2. They do have to continue making a lot of space here for the Medusa, but top of the net worth sitting pretty comfortably. It's also going to come down to the fact of how they've been able to play around with the stacks around the triangle, but Kaz and Invoker is trying to find Somnus, but I'll just be a little bit too late to the triangle.
He walked underneath the Observer Ward, and of course the Sentry picked him out as well. So normally as a Storm Spirit, you might think, oh, he's just gone on a little bit of a warding mission, but the Invoker there as well means he has to get out of dodge.
They might find Yang. He's really deep, and Omni-Knight's not in the vicinity, so have to pop the Dark Ascension.
Radiant's middle tower is
He
under
was so
attack.
close to being fully mana burned because of that EMP. He's able to get away just in time, but it's a big cooldown to be used, especially considering the fact that now it's going to be offline for about 2 minutes, right before it's about to get back into the daytime. So this opens up a big window for MagMa to try and get a little bit aggressive. Not that they have the most aggressive lineup, though.
Fortunes change.
You're too kind. Amazing what you found lying
Oh.
around.
How are the stacks looking at the Radiant Triangle at the moment? They got a double at the Ancients, it looks like. Okay. So at least the Medusa is going to be able to have some way to keep up. It's kind of nice as well with how they've drafted too with the Keeper of the Light. This will give them some effective HP, like we've seen earlier in the day, where pairing up the Coddle with the Storm feels really nice just for his early game to increase his farm and also look to get involved. But a little bit different of a pairing this time, but of course to keep in mind of how it's going to help out to kind of buff up the Medusa and give her that extra little sustain through these fights.
Yeah, of course, especially they were going into the Diffusal Blade on the Pango. I wonder if they'll even opt to go for any kind of mana burn spells on, let's say the Night Stalker or so. It doesn't feel anywhere near as comfortable, but still, there's the potential for it. We're getting close to picking up any kind of level 6 yet on the Shadow Shaman. He just gets the Tome coming out to him now, and you've got the Siege Creep wave. So you could still look to get quite aggressive now on Elephant as Somnus. He has yet to decide where to TP to. It's going to be that mid lane, but smartly enough, backing off just in time is the Invoker. I say that.
He's got back in. Somnus can punish the position now, but he does have some rotations coming through from Kaz, so the Aphotic Shield giving him some sustain. Great use of the Hard Dispel as well. But Somnus is now out of mana, so he's going to try and turn to deal with the Abaddon, but he's going to be cautious of Dust swinging on over as well. And an early use of the Stone Gaze, but that just prevents the Storm Spirit from being able to pick up a kill.
Yeah, a little bit of a misplay coming there from FY. He overlapped the stun with the Electric Vortex, so that meant that when the Abaddon used the Aphotic Shield, they had no way to lock him in place, and he was able to get away just on barely any HP. Side, TZY, he's rolling around again, being a menace. Just trying to delay the farm a little bit, but all this delay means that Yang, he's going to have his ultimate available again. They could look to make a play down on this bottom side. You always want to be using this Mass Serpent wards as quickly as possible whenever it's off cooldown.
Yeah, we'll see how MagMa cannot defend this. I mean, Medusa, not really a hero that can get active early on. Looks like TZY doesn't have too many resources left available as well to defend the tower. They're even actually going to rotate down Eurus too. So this is kind of the thing. I mean, I don't see how Elephant can go late game. A lifestealer versus the Medusa matchup is not favorable at all. So you kind of just have to rely on taking early towers and trying to beat down the Medusa before she hits her real item spike as well. TZY, are they actually going to be able to kill the Pango? Now finally Yang will target him down, but dude.
54% damage reduction, man. I'm telling you, that shield crash, they need to change the animation for it because it's so much bigger than what it looks like.
Radiant's bottom tower has
They didn't end up having to use the Mass Serpent wards at least, so that's a little bit of a plus for FY, but again, it's now this 2.5 minute period where it feels like fighting is so difficult because no Dark Ascension,
Dire's middle tower is under
very little
attack.
mana on the Storm Spirit, and still a while until nighttime.
No sorceries avail.
Now super. This is a bit more of a difficult task to try and kill the Omni Knight at the moment.
Well, you
With
say
the
that.
Luminate. I say. No, maybe it's not too bad.
My soul is ready to be seen.
Dude, I'm so
Very
out of
greedy
it.
there. Yeah, I mean, he just stayed under the tower for the longest time, not wanting to
Dire's
use the
top
purification to
tower is
quickly
under
clear it
attack.
out. Another stack, I believe. Actually,
Dude,
wow,
FY.
FY using the Mass Serpent wards to
Radiant's
take
That's
middle
my
tower
good
is under
position for a
attack.
player. Yes, use those
Dire's
wards to
top
farm the
tower is
camps. You
under
greedy
attack.
man.
disgusting. And the mid tower's up, man, and they're just all top. This
Dire's
is a
top
perfect
tower has
opportunity for
fallen.
them to take mid, but instead it's just going to be the
Radiant's middle
position
tower
for getting
is
a little
under
bit of
attack.
farm, which isn't even going to lead him
Radiant
into his Blink
structures
Dagger. I
are
think he's
fortified.
going for
Dire's structures are
just going to get the Aether Lens. Okay, I guess it gets him a little closer to the Blink Dagger now.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Alright, they're gonna look for their
TZY.
infest play. From TZY. This time, they're able to successfully kill off the Pangolier. You know, a great infest bomb carrier is going to be the Storm Spirit, and along with Yang once he finds these items as the game goes on. So, I mean, damn, we're 14 minutes into this game. It doesn't feel like it's been 14 minutes, but
Dire's
3
middle
kills on the
tower
board
is under
here. Very
attack.
even game 3 here
Radiant's
to
bottom
close out the
tower is
night,
under
as the net
attack.
worth lead is in Elephant's favor, but they haven't really done probably the job they're looking for to really shut down Dust, as at the moment he has the Manta and will be working on the Skadi as the next item.
It's an okay item. It will still feel like they're lacking in a little bit of damage for mine, considering the Invoker went this Quaswex style. I suppose it'll be good to prevent the Storm Spirit from dealing a lot of damage, provided you're able to get that EMP mana burn off, but a lot of that is so reliant on TZY again, who's shown that he's capable of getting the chain locked down on.
Dude, he's hunting.
Yeah. Oh, who's
Gonna
finding who?
fly. Yeah, maybe it's Elephant. They're gonna have to get the kill fast and look to reset, but TZY, well, he knows he can't target down the Night Stalker, so instead he's just gonna put his attention trying to kill off the Shadow Shaman, and with the last miskill coming through from afar, that is enough. Meanwhile, across the map though, we did see Invoker falling. They're still targeting down Kaz though. Yang, he's not gonna have too long of the Dark Ascension. Josh left, but he doesn't even care about that. Diving deep under the tier 2 tower, Swashbuckle, it's not enough. Yang flies his ways to safety.
All right, nicely done. I was kind of thinking that, you know, maybe the Abaddon would be able to get through to safety, considering, you know, he was sitting underneath the tower, he'd used the borrowed time, he had the infused raindrops available, but still not enough to be able to withstand that Night Stalker during the nighttime.
Mid lane? Who they're catching at the moment here? Eurus, raged up. He's gonna be okay.
Getting closer to that Desolator as well, so that's where you can
Radiant's
really
middle tower
look to
has
see them
been
pick up the
denied.
pace a little bit here. You know, the Desolator combined together with the Mass Serpent wards and some decent right click coming through from the Night Stalker. Would look
They've
to
caught
take
the
him down.
Medusa.
Down the
Jumping
deuce.
Serpent Words. Yeah, they burned out the mana. Kaz needs to get by, but great prioritization. Somnus holding the Orchid till the Abaddon just gets in range to prevent the survivability. And Pango, I mean, he's trying to do whatever he can to disrupt the backline and enable the rest of the team to retreat safely, but he himself has to be careful as well. Eurus, if he wants to pop out with the Infest for the bonus damage, maybe they'll just turn to try and kill off the Invoker, but an instant Aphotic Shield, purging off the shackles, and now they're going back in. Elephant, maybe you've overstepped the mark a little bit too far, as the Omni Knight will fall.
Many before you have tried and failed.
Zap.
They're going to be able to get away, but yeah, I was kind of surprised at how long 3 heroes could just be beating down on this Medusa with no rebuttal. I mean, you called it perfectly. The use of the Orchid there onto the Abaddon means that he wasn't able to do anything in response. That is the one way to beat an Abaddon, right? Stuns, you can borrowed time that off. Silences, not so much. There's really not anything you can do.
Dire are scanning.
Dire though, still 2,000 net worth lead. At least they've been able to show some prowess at being able to kill off the Medusa. This is something that they can definitely replicate here. But you see how they have to be also keeping their eyes on where the supports are positioning. I mean, the Abaddon is just going to really limit your control and burst potential. And if he is nearby, and it's going to be a lot of emphasis on Kaz, but at the moment, I mean, how are you feeling about this game for MagMa in particular? Because they are down a little bit of net worth, but do you still feel like Duso will have this potential to scale as the game goes on?
I think, of course, and especially if they're able to take out the likes of Kaz here, they're going to pop the Stone Gaze super
Somnus is
early.
out of mana.
Yeah, he's pretty low.
Dust himself, though, really doesn't have any damage. They have the silence out on the Lifestealer, not going to matter. They'll try and pull back the Pangolier, and no opportunity for the Rolling Thunder. Now Yang can target down the Keep of the Light as well. They're just completely avoiding Dust with the minimal damage that the Medusa has at the moment.
Doesn't really have too many defensive capabilities. You're going to have that Ice Wall.
Long zip in again with the Infest bomb. They're on top of the Invoker. Again, they can just leave the Medusa to last. They burnt the mana. Kaz needs to get out of range for the AoE silence just to give Dust some little extra survivability. It's enough to keep him alive long enough to kill the Night Stalker and the Lifestealer, but it does still cost him his life.
It's super. Oh, he's going to run away, the little pig.
Can he make it?
No sorceries avail.
All right.
He's looking for that range. Not quite, though.
Oh, all in all, though, at least Dire, again, replicating that they can kill off the Medusa if they kite the Abaddon, at least limit that survivability coming into play. What's the next item looking like here for Eurus? What do you feel like he wants to go on the lifesteal?
I would say the Sange. Yeah, good item. I mean, it's always going to be great when you can get... he could even look to go for something a little bit more defensive, like a Halberd, right? Because you've got a decent amount of damage once the levels start to kick in, particularly for Yang. You know, once he gets to level 15, that's an extra 50 Dark Ascension damage. And if you're going up against this solo core like the Dusa, taking away that through the work of the Disarm is going to be pretty damn effective.
Yeah, well, they still have nighttime. Oh, it's not too long now. Another 15 seconds, unfortunate for Dire. Killing off Dust, though, again. I mean, he's almost got Scardy. What 15 talent did he go for in the Dusa? Okay, went for the attack speed. Okay.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
They're going to have to back off until... I think Elephant could even get away with waiting until the level 15 mark, right? Well, I say that, but Caster's Curse kicks in as FY with the level 2 Mass Serpent Wards. He's got the Blink Dagger as well, so this could be a surprise engagement, but look at the good positioning coming out here from Kaz, making sure that he's right in between the Invoker and any kind of choke points.
Well, they caught the Pango up to the northern side, though. It's unfortunate for TZY. I mean, he had an incredible Game 2 performance, but 1-3-1 at the moment. You know, we can still see the Pangoli do a lot with a limited amount of net worth, but it's not a replication of how he was able to perform in the second game.
It's just screams to me of so much respect being given over, right? Like, he was the reason, in my eyes, that MagMa won that game. Invoker wasn't able to do anything, able to
Radiant's
disrupt the
top
backlines
tower
nice
is
and
under
easily.
Have
They're even going to drop the Mass Serpent wards here, and along with the
Dire
Siege
are
Creep. I'm
scanning.
not sure if they needed it.
Radiant's top
Might
tower has
take
fallen.
away a little bit of their Roche potential, but better to be safe than sorry, I suppose.
See Radiant though. But still the Medusa is top of the net worth, so she's still kind of the queen of the game at the moment. The issue is that Skadi's not going to really amplify her damage output at the moment. I wonder if she goes Daedalus next item. Like, what do you feel like Dust is going to need here?
Daedalus isn't too bad. Honestly, even a Butterfly seems pretty alright this game.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's going the Halberd on the Monkey King. MKB's not the worst item for a Lifestealer, but it feels like so much of the damage that you're going to be taking is coming from physical sources that a Butterfly could be worse.
I will someday repay.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
It's the issue when you have this full commitment on a position 1 win condition is you see it's really not the same as how they're funneling the net worth into the other heroes. Like this game, Dire able to
Radiant's
control the map a
courier
lot
has been
more with
killed.
how they can find these pickoffs. And I mean, you see that it was very similar to, in fact, game 2, where Somnus Invoker, he wasn't getting a whole lot of farm. And this time, I mean, Invoker for the side of MagMa,
Dire's
he's
middle
not going
tower
into the
is under
Midas as
attack.
well. So Spirit Vessel,
Dire's
Force Staff,
structures are
really not
fortified.
looking to scale here, which is... it might come back to bite them in the bum there as the game
Dire's
goes
middle
on.
tower has been
It's a
denied.
worry, right? Because if you get taken down or you get made to be useless by, you get an Orchid onto the Abaddon and the Shadow Shaman just perma locks you down throughout the team fight, then suddenly your net worth really isn't worth much of anything. I'm talking MagMa's team net worth.
Still though, it's... Are there any items that Elephant kind of need to maybe potentially take Roshan? Because it feels like still cracking some T2 towers is going to be a really difficult task to take. So is there any items they need to maybe enable that? Or do you still just want to see them probably smoke up and take a fight and then it doesn't matter how long it takes them?
Yeah, I mean, they've already got the Deso on the Lifestealer, right? So it's going to be quick-ish to be able to take it. And if you just want a team fight, the Dark Ascension's probably going to be
Radiant are scanning.
used anyway. So I feel like they've got the potential to take it, but the team fight on MagMa is so immense that you do need to consider, well, we probably need to pick off before we're able to go in and just take Roche, because you never want to be fighting into an Invoker inside of a closed area. Same sort of thing. I mean, we've seen how much damage a Keeper of a Light and a Pango is able to do.
And I was speaking about the Pangolier and how much he's able to do. He's closing on the BKB, so at least enabling him to be able to get that rolling thunder off always through the fights. And this is not a game like we saw in game 2 where they have any BKB piece in control. You know, that Naga with the Aghanims was not even an issue in that game, honestly. So once he gets this item, he's still farming relatively well. I mean, he's ahead of his position too. Invoker, unfortunately, is 2,000 behind his counterpart offlaner though, so... we'll see how TZY can keep up. We're slowing this game down a little bit. Do you feel like Elephant, like they're okay with the status quo at the moment? Yes, they've got a 7,000 net worth lead, but still, this is the late game prowess of a Medusa.
For me, it's the fact that the lead is growing, right? And what heroes do you really have that can go for pickoffs right now on MagMa? I can't see any.
Dire are scanning.
The damage is just so low unless it's confined into a small area in a team fight 5v5.
Yang jumped in forward, straight on top of the Medusa. They're going to try and target down Kaz, but a great use of the borrowed time at least allows Kaz to be able to give Medusa the defensive factors to enable her to get back to safety. But meanwhile, TZY, I guess that's just a rolling thunder to try and parade as much space as possible. Now with the Guardian Angel out, Medusa's all physical damage is completely mitigated, as now they can finally control her and deal with Medusa without any care in the world. Burnt out of mana, about to be burnt out of health as well, as dust will fall, and now Kaz should be the third death here, as Juris will pop out for a double. They're not done just yet. A dive underneath the T2 tower will secure a beautiful team fight victory here for Elephant and TZY.
TZY's going in.
Okay, well, he gets the kill in the store with the help of the illusion, but what more can you get after that? Swashbuckle up in a couple seconds, but it's a triple for Eurus and a full white for Elephant.
They could potentially consider going into Roche with this. I mean, you've still got the Omni Knight. He's not doing a lot of damage in these fights, but he was just able to get off the Guardian Angel before he went down. Really key to turning that one around for them. Made the Medusa's mana pool effectively useless, just by being able to quickly burst through it. And, well, they're not going to consider going into Roche just yet, but it just shows the effectiveness of being able to get that initial silence in onto the Abaddon, right? The Storm Spirit, the positioning has been very nice by Maybe.
Yeah, it's really been the story. I mean, we keep bringing it up, but it's really been the story of the group stages here. Like the supports, not so much like today, but really the first like couple of days that we casted, they were just disrupting fight after fight and keeping their cores alive, and then they're able to turn it from there. And you see when a team has got that awareness really on how they need to execute these fights to counter out the supports, and then you can target the cores afterwards. And Elephant have been doing that pretty much since the early start of this game, and that's a big factor on why they have this now 9,000 net worth lead.
Still holding on to a lot of gold here is Maybe 3,500. Going into the Shiva's Guard next, which is always going to be
Dire's
great
middle
against the
tower is
likes
under
of a
attack.
Medusa.
Radiant's top tower is under
Not
attack.
opting to spend any of it yet, though.
Dire's structures
Like,
are
you
what'd I
definitely
miss?
switch that one around.
Yeah, even the Pangoliera's got some minus armor as well. So, and you want to make sure if you do get turned to stone, then that's also going to amplify some more of that physical damage. So, whatever armor you can get here from the Storm, also giving some mana
Radiant's
pull. And
top tower is
another
under
that's
attack.
an aspect that kind of gets oversighted pretty often is just the vision that the Shivas can provide is sometimes really nice here when maybe you don't have
Radiant's
Dark
top tower
Ascension
has
available
fallen.
and you're trying to scout through a tree line or help FY to find that jump or Somnus. Like it could really be beneficial here for them.
And it's instant vision as well. That's the
Yep.
thing. Like you're very quickly able to get kind of similar to having a Night Stalker on your team, but the fact that you've got that and the Storm Spirit just means that you've got complete control over any kind of high ground.
Yep.
Why not? That minus armor, they instantly scouted out, so nicely done by MagMa. This is exactly where they want to be taking these fights, in an enclosed area where you're able to get maximum value out of this Rolling Thunder coming from the Pangolier.
Dire are scanning.
Even the BKB freshly picked up on the Pango.
MagMa.
Scouting it out, putting dust first. The tankiest hero of them all. We know that Elephant have been trying to avoid him as much as possible. Take him out last, so he's able to put himself in harm's way. He kind of avoids that situation.
Yang, he's gonna pop this here. Early use of the silence. Trying to go with Dust at the moment, maybe just making some space here for FY to find the angle, but FY is just completely targeted by the Invoker and TZY, and in fact TZY, he hasn't used his BKB through the Rolling Thunder, but look at the choke point fight, the bounce back and forth, Furious will
again.
fall. What a chain lockdown from the Pangolier. And now who do they want to target next? It looks like they can't keep up to the Night Stalker, so it'll just have to result to getting Super up and an extra kill on the board, and that should lead them into Roshan with the minus armor they have in the Pangolier. MagMa somehow with this Pangolier is able to bring them back in this game 3.
And Elephant had the vision in that team fight. Like, they were the ones that had this high ground area warded, so the fact that they still lost that after all the information that they had is, it's an indictment to the fact that their team fight is somewhat lacking if they're able to take it inside of these small choke points. So
Roshan
MagMa,
has
they
fallen
picked their
to the
fight
Radiant.
perfectly. Great
Radiant's
presence of mind
courier
by
has
the
been
Invoker to
killed.
make sure the Sunstrike hit immediately after they went straight into that Roche pit. And, well, the game's back on. You know, what was that was approaching a 90% win probability. It's slowly inching its way back.
Beautiful fight from MagMa, just giving them really what feels like more of an opportunity to delay this game is the important thing. Like Deuce is
Radiant's
going
bottom
to continue to
tower is
pick
under
up that
attack.
farm, still top of the net
Dire's
worth.
middle tower
What is
is
she?
under
What's
attack.
she actually queuing for next here for the Deucer? The butterfly. Oh, okay. She went even Aghanims too with the shard.
I love it. I mean, Shadow Shaman can't just shackle you constantly. As soon as you get any kind of spell onto it, and it's delayed as well, right? So, you know, you might be able to get the Hex off, and then by the time the snake actually reaches you, it's going to disrupt the shackle on top of that.
And even just a little bit more control maybe for the Storm Spirit, like a hero who's very reliant on his mobility. And who knows, you get a stray snake, maybe there's extra follow-up, like if Pango gets really farmed, he could then at some stage have a basher that's more just like this mini proc chance to control a storm, and sometimes that's just enough with how squishy of a hero you can be. But Elephant, they don't care about this age's advantage that MagMa have at the moment. Looking for a smoke up. They don't really have the...
Kind of split right now on MagMa though. I'm loving Kaz's positioning though, always making sure to stay right behind the key targets.
The buddy system. It's a classic. It's something that Abaddons you always need to kind of utilize in your games, just making sure you're holding your position one's hand. Like often it feels like it's not the right thing to do, but 1000% with the pickoff lineup that Elephant have, if you are nowhere near to be seen to protect your Dusa, it could just be life or death.
Just being able to have, like you mentioned before, now he's reached up to level 20, right? So Dust just becomes so much tankier. He's got the Aegis, he's got the Coddle to be
Radiant's
constantly
bottom
buffing him up
tower
with
is
extra
under
mana from the
attack.
Chakra Magic. Hell,
Radiant
even if you want to count
structures are
the
fortified.
Holy Locket being able to give him a little bit of extra health and mana through that. But, I mean, it's going to be hard for Elephant to
Radiant's
be able to take
bottom
these next
tower
team
is under
fights, and
attack.
they're just going to keep on pushing forward. This is
Radiant's
the definition of a
bottom
4
tower
Protect 1.
has fallen.
Okay. Do you feel like they're going to have enough to continue buffing him up?
Dire's
I
top
guess, I
tower
mean,
has
with
fallen.
Abaddon's survivability, Lucky Shot minus armor, Alacrity, is there any like Solar Crest or any utility items that are getting picked up here to help him?
Solar Crest is never a bad item. Who are we going for here on the Storm Spirit? Not going to be able to pick out anyone just yet. But yeah, why not? It's the same sort of theory behind going the Butterfly, right? It's just going to protect you against a lot of physical damage, and it's going to amp up your own damage potential while providing you some extra armor.
Dust is very close to this Butterfly. What do they got? Like 3 minutes left on the Aegis? So he should have this next item for, in fact, 2 minutes left on the Aegis. So he should have this next item here before the timer ticks out. So they'll probably get some more objectives out of it. As...
Yeah, they'll look to play around this area here. You know, they want to be able to take this away by taking the tier 1 tower. Sure, you're going to refresh the glyph that they're going to end up popping anyway, but you're in the region to immediately buy up the talisman, finish up that Butterfly, and hopefully take another successful team fight. But what's the vision game looking like here?
Radiant's
they have a
middle
gem
tower
on the
is
event,
under
which is
attack.
going to be real value. You've got to
Dire's
make sure you're
bottom
getting
tower
up this
is under
Observe Ward
attack.
onto the high ground. You eventually want to push forward, but yeah, they're coming.
Try and
the
take the
wraparound
fight.
as well.
You just have to. You got to find Kaz. You've got to
Dire's
leave the
bottom
Medusa to
tower
last.
has fallen.
Yang providing the vision, but instantly TZY again, and now they've got the double damage rune, so they're going to try and target down with the life steal. They're pushing further away, but Yuri's able to get the rage off. Now they'll target the Evoker. An easy pick off to find here, but still the Medusa. Can she be the raid boss? Maybe she might just be the sole survivor without the rest of the team, but I don't know if Dust has the damage though. They'll finally turn to deal with the Medusa, but still has the potential of the extra life. Only about half mana to play with, even picks up the Butterfly now, and Somnus, he's
at that
completely
Mystic
out of
Snake,
mana
though.
as well. So Somnus has got to be careful how long he wants to stick around through the fight. They continue to just slowly chunk down the Medusa. Minimal damage being dealt at best here. Maybe they might even wait for the Aegis, depending on how long it has left to tick out. But they'll deal with the first life. And now with no other heroes on MagMa, like how do you protect the next life? There's just no way you can do it. Dust has to try and 5v1, but unfortunately he just doesn't have the items to be able to do so, nor the levels as well. He'll bring
Can he
down
get the
Elephant
snake?
incredibly
He does.
low. Maybe the snake with the bonus mana. He gets a crap load back, almost up to full here, but still they'll drain it dry once again and finally kill off the raid boss in the Dusa.
Oh, that was a lot, though. He was so close to being able to get not just a single kill, but 2 or 3 from all of that engagement. And just the benefit of the backstab, you know, getting in onto the back lines, disrupting the team fight formation that MagMa have been able to maintain for the majority of this game.
And now Dusa down for 50 seconds
Radiant's
here.
middle
Dire.
tower is under attack.
They have, because how low they fell there and where they took that fight, it doesn't look like they're really going to get any objectives out of this, but still this, now you kind of deal with, the Aegis didn't have too long left, but now you just get a big influx of gold towards the boys on Dire.
It's a bit unfortunate. I want to say that maybe MagMa kind of griefed that team fight. I feel like they could have 100-0'd the Lifestealer, but unless I'm wrong, I don't see any 4-staffs on the Dire side. And that was the only thing that stopped the Pangolier from getting the full chain lockdown in onto him. It was either a Force Staff that came through from the Invoker or the Keeper of the Light that pushed him slightly away, which meant that he couldn't get the full chain, and all of this Medusa's farm was for nothing.
Over here now.
And now
There we go.
even,
The MKB.
now you've got a way to itemize against the evasion on Dust, and we saw how tanky you could be previously. Again, avoid the Deucer. They're going to do so instantly. Yang jumps to kill off the Coddle, and Deucer's stuck inside the Serpent Wards at the moment here, but Yang targeting down the supports. The Abaddon's going to be the next hero to fall here with the Borrowed Time, giving him so much space, but it doesn't even matter. Medusa, they've just ripped through the health once again. No damage is getting dished out here for the Medusa. She doesn't have any help from the rest of the team to provide the lack of damage that's there at the moment. And Elephant again, no casualties.
It just goes to show what good itemization can do for a team, right?
Radiant's
The
middle
Nullifier
tower has
multiple
fallen.
times now has allowed Yang to get it onto the
Radiant's
back
middle
lines,
tower is under
make this
attack.
Keeper of the Light effectively useless. Full stun, you can't force stuff out of it, you can't go Scepter out of it. He's not even able to get off a
Radiant's
blinding
middle
light
barracks are under
to
attack.
provide a couple of seconds of security for his Medusa.
Radiant's middle
And
barracks has fallen.
now what will be a full set of barracks, maybe
Radiant's
even
middle
potentially
barracks
more
has
as
fallen.
well, as there's no
Radiant
T2s
structures
left
are
standing the
fortified.
way from Elephant. It's going to swing down to bot. The only thing really
Fear not heresy.
lacking here is the resources, mainly the mana for Eurus.
Radiant's
Easy
bottom
what?
tower has fallen.
Not so fast.
He was feeling tanky. He had a three-man shield crash, so only taking half the damage.
Whoa.
Nice strike being landed there.
FY, what was FY doing? He's just chilling. He just tried to make the trees his home.
What, maybe when the mid lane was pushing in, he just dropped the mass serpent wards on the bottom side? Why not? Bit of a cheeky play. He was holding on to an observer ward as well, so he might have looked to plant one down. Oh, who they
Yeah.
found?
Okay,
There's the play.
can they? They're gonna try and target Super now. Even if Vo can pop in the BKB, it looks like they'll just leave Super to his own devices here. So, I mean, Rolling Thunder, BKB Force, nothing too chaotic there to get the kill on Super. It will give them maybe some time to try and get these lanes shoved out here for MagMa, but the net worth lead just continuing to go from Elephant. And honestly, do you feel like it's Rapier territory? Because I don't see a way back in this game for
Dire's
Radiant.
middle
And yeah, he's got
tower
it queued
is
up.
under attack.
I mean, he was going for Daedalus the longest time. I feel like Satanic's another great item for him to potentially pick up. But yeah, it's Rapier. It's all or nothing. Because, I mean, you talked about before the difference between the
Dire's
all
middle
the other
tower
cores
has
essentially
fallen.
on MagMa versus how evenly split they are on Elephant. And it's not just that, it's also the levels. Have a look at the difference. Level 25
Radiant's
on this
top
Storm
tower
Spirit,
is
he's got
under
that Overload
attack.
attack balance. Not even level 20 on the Invokers. So even though you've gone this 4 Protect
Dire
1
are
strategy,
scanning.
you're not even having the alacrity damage or speed to be able to buff up this Deucer further. They can't go for pickups. That's the issue. So it feels like MagMa are constantly at whenever Elephant want a team fight, they'll take it, and right now they have no way of escaping away from the Nullifier in onto the backlines. Like, does he have Dust? He's got a gem, so it's even worse. So even if you get like a preemptive
Amazing
Glimmer
what
Cape
you
off
found,
before he's able to get the
Danog.
Nullifier onto you, it's pointless.
And it is also level 25 now as well. So only 9-second downtime in the Dark Ascension with the Arcane Blink. I mean, it's 11, 1, and 10. Like, it's just been a phenomenal performance here from Yang, and you know, he's charging up the ultimate, seeing who he can find with the vision. They've got the jump in straight on top of the Abaddon. I mean, just the borrowed time doesn't even get propped at all. They kill him down through the activation, and now inside the river, they are trying to chain lock Eurus, but with Guardian Angel preventing all the damage from the Deucer once again. They're so far ahead this game that they can just target the Deucer at the start of the fight. It doesn't even matter. She'll just get a TPR, but meanwhile in the river, TZY will not be as successful.
It's so unfortunate considering how much of a bright spot that game number 2 was.
sorceries avail.
Coordinated really well, but yeah, it just feels like there's no way right now for MagMa to take team fights. They're always having to just sit on the back lines and wait for the inevitable to happen.
Now you can...
It just don't stop.
Yeah, it's...
Taking the Aghanim Shard as well.
Beautiful. Such a cool shard here for the Night Stalker. Pretty much
Radiant's top
consistent
tower is under
resources to
attack.
keep himself out on the map, and with the almost full uptime ultimate, that's exactly what you
Radiant's
want.
courier has been
He's
killed.
gone for the Bloodthorn.
Radiant's top barracks are under attack.
And Dust is
Radiant's
he's still
top
so far
barracks
away
has
from the rapier. Like
Radiant's top barracks has
they're
fallen.
just gonna go down, get the mega creeps, and then maybe as well just stick in the base for the tier 4 towers. I mean, they've been completely dealing with the Medusa fight after
Radiant's
fight,
bottom
and
barracks are
I don't see
under
how this
attack.
one's going to be any
Radiant's
different as a
bottom
jump in once again.
fallen.
They've got the Hex Break from FY. Kaz able to get it off this time, so they shot the shackles.
Fear not, great guardian. Watch over.
That's Megas though.
Now again, Somnus looking to try and prevent as much space as
Yeah, later.
possible. Cotter will melt. There's no hope of Dust here. They can put all their eggs they want to into the Medusa. They tried to bring this series back. It was an incredible game too, but you know, you'll get inside the base. One more hope from TZY with the Rolling Thunder, but Dire, they're so tanky. They're so survivable. Now they can turn back in. What a game 3 performance though. Like you were Somnus is even diving the well. Like you got outclassed in that second game, but for Elephant to really bring it back home and bring it back home with a convincing performance as well.
Yeah, and they're eventually going to have to tap out. GG being called, 42 minutes. It was a bloodbath after the 15 or so minute mark. I feel like it was only 3 kills until then, but a great performance coming out, particularly from Yang, I thought. He definitely righted the wrongs from his second game, Bat Rider. The spellcasting wasn't on point in that game, but this one, he was just a menace. There was nothing that the supports on Magma's side could do about it.
Yeah, all in all, Elephant. I mean, this is a big series for them to pick up as well, because previous to this, they'd only won one series, so now they're going to jump up to 2-2, and they still have how many more series? They still have 2 more series here from Elephant. One against Asta Ares and another one versus Vici, so they are not easy series at all. But all in all, though,
This tells the story to me.
where are we looking?
Invoker damage less than the Keeper of the Light, barely more than the Abaddon, less than the Shadow Shaman. It was just way too much of a sacrificial game, unfortunately, for a Spirit Vessel that I'm not quite sure what it was for. You know, you're going to be able to get rid of it with the Omni Knight. I can understand the Urn, of course, when you go on Quas Wex and you want to be able to go for some early on ganks, but they didn't have any other way to go for those ganks. So it felt like an Exalt was definitely the way to go. Buff up their damage further, get some of those Forge Spirits to make the team fighting more effective, quicker alacrity, and of course the scaling that comes together with it. So it's going to be a pretty comfortable victory eventually for Elephant in game number 3 for what's been an eventful night. You know, we had long games, we had short games, we had destroyed keyboards, we had beautiful songs played on the recorder, and you know, we're not done. We're going to be back here tomorrow as well.
Tomorrow we got 2 series this time instead of the long 3 series tonight. So we're back with the double header. It'll be our 3rd last day of the group stages. It'll be Asta Ares against Vici Gaming to start the day. And then we've got RNG versus Team Asta. So another cracker of a series to end the night here. But for everyone watching, I very much appreciate everyone holding on to the issues that unfortunately I bestowed upon us with dropping my T all over my keyboard. So yeah, I do very much apologize for that one. But at least Danog was able to come and clutch there and help out with the observing. But yeah, appreciate everyone tuning in. We'll be back tomorrow, same time for some more I-League Season 2 group stage action.